All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show at Levi's in the final minutes of the fourth quarter of Niners-Rams. Rams with a 21-20 lead, and it looks like the Rams are going to go on and win this game. Now, the Niners are going to get one more possession, potentially, and maybe not. Maybe the Rams run out the clock, but 49ers kept nine players from playing in this game. There was no Brock Purdy, no Christian McCaffrey, no Juwan Jennings, no Ambry Thomas, no Eric Armstead, no Tayshaun Gibson, no Jair Brown, and then Kyle Shanahan sat out Dre Greenlaw and George Kittle with injuries as well. So the Niners had 9 guys that didn't play in this game. He sat out Greenlaw and Kittle at the last second with injuries. Trent Williams only wound up playing 2 series in this game. Niners scored on the first drive. It was a 12-play, 75-yard drive. Eli Mitchell with a 1-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0 49ers. And that's how this game got going. And then the Rams responded with their own 11-play, 75-yard drive. Wentz found Puka Nacua for a 19-yard catch to tie the game at 7-7. 49ers' second drive was a long drive. It went 16 plays, 75-yard drive, and it was nearly 10 minutes of drive time. Sam Darnold went in from a 1-yard touchdown run to make it 14-7. The big play was a 16-yard run to Jordan Mason on that drive. Wentz, on the very next play, on the Rams' next possession, threw a ball that was tipped and intercepted by Taylor Hawkins. So the Niners had the ball deep in the Rams' territory, but Jake Moody missed a 38-yard field goal, his first missed field goal since the Week 7 Minnesota game. And so the Niners couldn't capitalize on the Hawkins interception. And then Darnold in the late second quarter ran the 2-minute drill to perfection. It was a 9-play drive. The Niners got it back with 1:38 to play in the second quarter, and they were on their own 10-yard line. The big play was Darnold found eventually he scored on a touchdown pass to Ronnie Bell, a 5-yard score to make it 20-7. But the big play was Darnold found Chris Conley for nearly 50 yards. I think it initially thought to be 50, but it wound up being 48-yard pass play. And then Jake Moody missed the PAT. How about that? So it was 20-7. Now the Rams, and that's the score that it was at halftime, 20-7. Rams had a 17-play, 75-yard drive in the third quarter as Wentz went to Tyler Johnson for an 8-yard touchdown reception. The big play on that drive was Robert Beal had a sack, his first in the NFL, on the drive. And, for Sam Darnold, really impressive first half. Darnold was really good in the first half. He completed 74% of his passes in the first half and really looked sharp, showed great arm strength, made a number of plays, ran when he needed to run, really looked good. Fourth quarter, though, Wentz would score on a 12-yard touchdown run, and then hooked up with Tutu Atwell for a 2-point conversion. And that's where we sit right now, 21-20, late in the fourth quarter. The Rams have the ball, and they're trying to run out the clock. And, of course, a Rams win combined with some other things, and they wind up being the 6th seed. If the Rams lose, they wind up being the 7th seed. But overall, I would say it was a pretty good day for the 49ers in that they got into and out of the game without a lot of injuries. Cleveland Farrell did leave this game with a knee injury, and I'm not sure his status. Darnold in the first half, though, 14 of 19 for 168 yards and a touchdown. As I said, 74% completion percentage, 117.9 quarterback rating. Big first half for Elijah Mitchell. He had 47 yards and a touchdown on 12 carries. Conley was the leading receiver at 48 yards. Oliver actually had a real nice first half. He had 7 tackles, all of them being solo, and then Beal had the nice sack. So we did see Kyle challenge a play, and won the challenge on a play where Wentz threw a shovel pass and he was ruled down. They initially said it wasn't ruled down by contact, but then Kyle challenged and won the challenge. But that's where we're sitting right now. The Rams have the ball at just inside the 2-minute warning. They are on their own 41-yard line, and they're trying to run out the clock.
5 yards on the play.
The 49ers may get the ball back here in the final minute of the game, but since the Rams kicked the 2-point conversion, there'll be no overtime in this one today. Either the Niners are going to win this one 23-21, or the Rams are going to win 21-20. But overall, a nice performance from the 49ers. They got a lot of the things that they wanted to get in this game from this game. They avoided huge injuries. It was a very vanilla game plan. It was a heavy run game. If they could win the game, obviously that would give them some positive momentum. Darnold, really did a nice job at taking care of the football and avoiding turnovers. And the Rams, at the end of this game, wound up driving down and getting that score. Wentz ran it in from 12 yards out. But overall, I think you'd have to say it was a pretty successful day. No Brock Purdy, no Christian McCaffrey, and yet the offense looked decent at times. The tackling was not sloppy. I mean, it really looked like a game that both McVay and Shanahan wanted to get over as fast as possible. You had long drives. Now the Rams are looking at a 3rd and 9 with 1:55 to play in the game, up 21-20. If they convert, then they're going to probably be able to run out the clock. If they don't convert, the 49ers are going to get one more shot at driving down the field. So 3rd and 9 from the 45-yard line.
Also play of 3 yards.
And looks like they take a 3-yard loss. Wentz was trying to run for it on 3rd and 9. And Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles makes the tackle. So the Niners are going to force a punt here with about 1:10 left. And then we'll find out if Sam Darnold can drive them down the length of the field and either get the game-winning field goal or lose this one by a single point. The one downside in this game, obviously, has been, besides really two negatives in this game. Clelin Ferrell going down with an injury. That was obviously a negative. We don't know the status of Ferrell going forward. We'll find out, I'm sure, either after the game or tomorrow. But now the Rams are punting
45 yards
with about roughly a minute left in the game, and Darnold's going to get the ball with one chance to somehow drive the ball down the field. Ray McLeod is going to run it to the 23, so he's going to have to go
10 yards.
He's going to have to go 70 plus yards down the field to get this done. But the big negatives today, Clelin Ferrell, obviously with the injury, we don't know how bad of an injury it is. And then Jake Moody. Moody missed a short field goal and a PAT, and it makes you wonder if the 49ers are going to be able to lean on Jake Moody in the playoffs, or are they going to have to call up Robbie Gould. Niners are trying to move the ball down the field right now. Darnold just went down to Conley down the field, and Conley caught it, but then the DB knocked it out, and so it's an incompletion. So the 49ers are looking at 2nd and 10 with about 45 seconds left to play in a game that they're down 21-20. So overall, even though win, lose, or draw, it wasn't about the win. It was about getting in and getting out unscathed. Outside of the Ferrell injury, they were pretty much unscathed. And then the only other negative was Moody's missed field goals. So, missed a PAT and a field goal. So you do have a rookie kicker going into the playoffs, and you were hoping that he would have some momentum going into the playoffs. Who knows? I mean, either this game is going to end 21-20, or they're going to move it into field goal range, and Jake Moody's going to get a chance at a game winner. And if he makes it, he salvages his day, and if he misses it, it will only add to the ugliness for Jake Moody. But overall, I would have to say a very good performance from the 49ers. Darnold looked good. J.P. Mason looked good. Elijah Mitchell looked good. Ronnie Bell had a couple nice plays. Robert Beal got his first sack. Darrell Luter was involved in the action. So, they got to use the depth on their roster, and they're either going to lose 21-20 or they're going to win 23-21. There's only 49 seconds left to play. The 49ers in a 2nd and 10 play, but it looks like either way, this has been a pretty good, productive game for the 49ers. And overall, I think if you're the 49er fan, you got to feel good about the fact that the Niners showed some good things in this game. They didn't show a lot, and they're going to get out of it. I mean, if the Farrell injury is the only injury, they get out of it relatively unscathed. Join us on the post-game show on YouTube.
Ruling on the field, does stand is called. It's an incomplete pass.
So join us on the post-game show on YouTube. It'll be myself, Kev, Danny, Rye, Baller, and no Damon today, but we may hear from JD, and we'll talk about this one. We'll either talk about the Niners, comeback win, or we'll talk about the Rams getting a 1-point victory over the 49ers. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Check that link in the description. Use the promo code KRUG, KRUEG, and they'll match you up to your first $100. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.
Pass complete.